Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to this cryptocurrency technical analysis where just look at what we have in store today. Just a wonderful green across the board day. Bitcoin up $5,000, 5%. And it has been, if you've been following along on the X or Twitter or however you want to call it, I've been referring to this as the best asset in the world. I had a few questions. Daniel, are you being serious? Is this trolling? I will expand upon that in this video, and I'm going to show you using the chart what my opinion and why it could be. But yeah, I think this has been outstanding, and I hope that you are all looking forward to this stream. We are coming up into some I class as minor resistance here, but nevertheless some resistance, so we'll see how this goes as we of course are approaching Friday night. We are UK time 5:30 right now, so you know this is where the market starts to calm down. Okay, the volume will come down significantly as we approach Friday evening. The CME, your stock market closes. We got the weekend trading. The weekend of trading is of course a very low volume time in comparison to the weekday. And so, yeah, Friday night into the weekend of trading, we can expect some low volume games to occur, maybe some big stop loss hunts. So, yeah, let's be prepared for that and acknowledge, hey, just because it's a weekend, I know some people will say don't trade the weekends. I think the weekends are there to trade. Of course, you have to have a healthy life balance. The balance is key, but there's no reason, let's say, why you shouldn't trade the weekend. I think the weekend is more than perfectly acceptable to be trading. You still get very technical moves. There are still trades, very nice opportunities that are given on the weekend. So, yeah, let's go over what we could be expecting over this weekend. And as we approach next week, which is going to be massive, isn't it, when we think about it? Who knows? I will come over to the chat in a second. And with that, I'll say, chat, what is happening on the 20th of January 2025? What is happening on Monday? What is the big day that everybody is talking about? I hope that you know. We'll wait and see, as I will come over and load up the chat a second. Let's see who we got in here today. So pop out chat. And if we can do a quick sound check while we're at it as well, make sure everyone can hear and everything. Let's see what we got going on in here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I was going to try and pronounce some of these names and then I paused. I thought, Ekostov. Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce the names. I will just say hello to everybody. Wonderful to have you in here. And yes, of course, Monday we got not Daniel for El Presidente. We have got, of course, got Donald Trump coming into office. So yeah, that's going to be a big day. Of course, for the world, right? For the world, not just the US citizens. I think this will affect everybody. And of course, it will have an effect on the markets. So having an effect on the markets, our job as traders, we need to be aware of such fundamental factors that can have an effect here. When you think about it, when Donald Trump was announced winner of the election, we had what some people refer to as the Donald Pump. And, he got announced as winning the election, and we saw a very, very big rise to the upside. And then, of course, for the past, month or two, we have ultimately gone sideways, to be fair. And now the second coming is here on Monday, as Donald Trump, the announcement of winning got a very big pump to the upside. And now him taking office, the question is, are we going to get that second pump to the upside, the Donald Pump second time round? Or is this a buy the news, sell the rumor type event, so to speak? And, we're getting the rally leading up to it. Everybody's looking forward to Monday and he takes office. And is this a rally which is going to end in a big drop to the downside and catch everybody off guard, cause millions of liquidations, and a lot of people wrecked as they start to get too bullish into resistance? Let's see. It's going to be an exciting time. With that, I also have some exciting things to share. But with that, I want to start off really starting off the video with a bit of a recap from my last video, which was 2 or 3 days ago now. It was I was talking about, can Bitcoin reach $100,000? Absolutely it can, as we are now trading at $104,000. So it exceeded all expectations. Of course, we were long, as I was talking you through that video, long from the fake out of the range low. I'll give a quick 2-3 minute recap on this bit of price action leading us up to where we are now, because I will always say context is the most important thing as a trader. If you do not understand the context, you are lost and you are never going to be able to make a successful trade. I really mean that. So context is key. So let me catch you up on this context here. What went on, bringing us up to $105,000. So, of course, in that video, we were talking about the long trade that we had taken from the fake out of the low onto the daily, which was ending in a swing failure pattern. Upon getting that swing failure pattern, which was all the way back down at $90,000, we had an entry trigger being an SFP onto, of course, if you can see here, the daily level that you had there, $89,909. We'd done a swing failure pattern onto the daily, which gave a entry trigger being a swing failure pattern onto a daily level, and it of course gave the invalidation, which is a stop loss below the wick on the long trades. Okay, and from there, that was way back on the 13th. Seems like ages ago, but it wasn't really that long ago. And what I mean by this is it exceeded all expectations. We have gone there from strength to strength. I really mean it. So that's the swing failure pattern that we were looking at. That was that move to the downside below the low onto the daily. And you can see from here, there has been no sign of slowing down. It has just gone up and up and up and up and up. There were a few key things I want to educate you on here quickly of ways that I really feel that this is the key. So if you want to know, if this is on your mind, how do I become a profitable trader? What do I need to do? What do I need to focus on? Okay, what is this skill or knowledge required to unlock that level of profitability consistently? And what I'm about to share with you, I truly believe is what makes me a consistent trader. And so I really want to, emphasize and share this with you so you too can use this in your trading. That's why I'm here, and that's why I have this channel, of course, to help you out becoming a successful trader. So yeah, really the key here is, and I want you to just pay attention and listen closely to what I say. I do believe it will be helpful for you. Upon first of all, of course, we were predicting this price action, fake out at a low, the rise in price. Okay, so first of all, in trading, you make a trade prediction. But again, this would be maybe one of 3 different ideas that I have. And sometimes that comes with a little bit of confusion with newer traders. Okay, people that say, why would you make 3 ideas? I want just one idea. I want to know exactly what's happening next. Whereas myself as a trader, I understand I do not know what's happening next. Thus, I just wait for high probability trade setups and wait for the chart to show me what's happening next. Okay, so I do not need to try and front run and guess the market when I can wait for the market to show its hand and then take advantage of that. So here, I had a trade setup, which was based off of a fake out onto the daily. I had another trade setup that if we had lost this level, I would have been looking to long around $87,000. I would have had another trade setup looking for a long at $84,000. So I had 3 trading ideas in this video. So this is the one that played out. This is the one where I took the long, which activated. But don't think that this was the one and only trade setup that I thought about, because that isn't the case in this video, and it wouldn't be the case on any video that you see from me. I will a lot of times refer back, hey, look at this prediction, look how it played out. Of course, if you remember, you already know this, but I will show that one prediction that played out. But of course, I'm aware that that would not be the right way to trade, and it would not be the right way to teach. We do not just look at one trade setup, but we are aware of 2-3 different trade setups, and we will trade the ones which activate. So what do we mean by this? If this had just dropped straight through, there would have not been this trade activate, and well, we were aware of the long trade off of the swing failure pattern fake out reclaim. But if we had just went straight down through, no reaction, well, then we look for our trade setup at around $87,000. That is key and very important that you understand that. So when that next step of the puzzle comes from the various different predictions that we have, we wait patiently for one of our trade setups to activate. And this is the activation. Okay, so we waited patiently to wait for the market to show its hands. I would always say never would you see me placing the limit order here. Well, that's a lie. Sometimes I will place limit orders. So that's a incorrect way of me saying. So occasionally I will place limit orders, but it's not really what I recommend, generally speaking, unless I have maybe a longer term time frame, swing trade, entry, maybe laddered entry triggers. But generally speaking, especially in this type of trade, a swing failure pattern, I would never preset, or 99% of the time I wouldn't be presetting for that, because very, very, very occasionally I would preset. But nevertheless, in this trade, I didn't preset, and I would have never told anyone that this is a good one to preset on. Why? Because if we did not get the fake out, that could have dropped from 90,000 to 84,000 very quickly. So we remain patient for that entry trigger. And this is when it occurs, right? That fake out to the downside onto the daily, back up. That has now given us, we have waited for the market to show its hands. We were aware of the scenario, and now the market has showed its hands. It has shown us a valid entry trigger. It's given us a valid stop loss. And of course, we let this run. This is the beauty of this trade. I am still in that very long trade now from $91,000, here at $105,000. Not because I thought we were going to $105,000, but because the market has not slowed down. So I am continuously letting the market show its hands and taking advantage for full profits on this trade. Okay, so I hope you're with me, because I feel that, this is the key of trading. So we have the different plans. We wait for the market to show its hands. We get our activation of the trade, which is with a valid entry trigger, as I say to the team, live in the time. As soon as I took my long, I posted this in the Discord. Okay, there was no delay on my post. I posted as soon as I took the long. And then I'm telling everyone, we got now the invalidation with the below the wick. And of course, that gives the simple invalidation with the long trade there. So we've got what we've needed to activate the trade. So step one, have the idea. Step two, have the entry triggered invalidation. And then step three is where we start to then recognize bigger targets in play. So you can see the first bigger target I had was around $98,000. At $98,000, I was going to be looking for a short trade. Why? Because this for me was a major level of resistance. And now I want to share with you what happened next. And I actually this is why I do recommend you follow on Twitter, because here for free I will be posting some little bits of advice, a little bit of, not advice, but tips and tricks, we could say. And I posted this. And I posted a few different things around this trade. So yeah, I was saying about how I was looking for $100,000 next. And then somebody said no short at $98,000. And yeah, for me, this was the reply, right? So for me, there is no bearish reaction at that weekly CC zone. So no short trade and would like higher. So you can see now this is where I'm waiting for the reaction once again. As I waited for the reaction for the long trigger, I then wait for the reaction for potentially taking a short here or letting my long run for more profits. And as we hit up into that weekly zone, again, check the timestamps. All of this is documented publicly, right? You can see this was posted before we broke the levels. I'm telling them, there's not a bearish reaction there, no short trade, and I want to see higher through $100,000. I then had this really good question about somebody that was very bearish, so that's fine, I suppose. But nevertheless, I'm saying I'm not saying Bitcoins can crash. Of course it can. But for me, there is no reason to be bearish here. Okay, we've got through the weekly then at this point, the naked point of control. If we lose 98K, then that's where context changes. So you can see from this reply, I'm viewing it as a dynamic which can switch. So I am bullish while we're trading above such levels. If we start to lose them, then I can start to look at fake out scenarios. And this is the next part of being a good trader. you have to be able to be dynamic, okay? Be like water. Don't be stuck only bullish. Don't be stuck only bearish. Let's say we have a really key level now of $102,000. Well, we can say, well, Bitcoin's above $102,000. This is very good, very positive. We can look for continuation. What we could say, well, if we lose $102,000, then the context changes. It's no longer looking so bullish and healthy, and we can look for a bigger drop to the downside. So I love to trade using such ideas of knowing where to change bias, okay, understanding when there's strength, when there's weakness. Not sure if you can hear that, but I got some. Well, I'm just going to mute my speakers a second because I start to get some really big interference. 1 second. And we're back. Sorry about that. So where was I? Yeah, having a reference level, so to speak, of, we're above this level, very, very, very bullish. I'm only going to even contemplate a short if we lose this reference level. Otherwise, this for me is just very, very bullish, okay? So yeah, that's where we were up at this point. And that's why for me, I still wanted to see higher. And this was yesterday. Yesterday morning, actually, you can see 10 a.m. yesterday. So yeah, a few more things I want to refer you to here and before we go on to what we're looking at next. And that was, of course, as we, this is back from the 15th, but you can see during the whole period, still no short trades, looking for new highs. We tapped into the CC, and even at the CC, again, check the timestamp. So go back onto the 15th of January at 1:20 UK time. You can see this is all given before the move happened. So at 1:20, I'm posting here. I'm not shorting Bitcoin at this CC. So this is then going into seeing a bearish reaction, so to speak, at the CC. You've tapped into that level and you've rejected from it. But recognizing through my understanding of order flow and the context that even with that bearish reaction, I'm not going to short here. Okay, I woke up to this reaction. I saw this. A lot of people would short here, stop loss above the high, right? Rejection from the CC. But I made an informed decision. I recognize the timing of the highs, the consolidation below resistance, which for me is, of course, more choppy. Consolidation below resistance. I'm not shorting based off of these signs. So I'm making very good informed decisions. And actually, funnily enough, 10 minutes later, we pump up through that weekly level that we were looking at. And this is the next part that I want to say is absolutely key. I made the decision, and again, this is not me trying to show off here. This is me explaining my thought process, because it's the thought process that makes me the trader I am. So if you can get into my brain as I explain my thought process, there's no reason why you cannot learn from this and implement that into your own trading. So, I don't need anybody's recognition. I really don't. It makes no difference to me what people think or don't of me, okay? I couldn't care less. So I'm not here to try and make myself seem good. I don't care if you think I'm bad, right? It makes really, I'm here because I believe that this information can help you. I know some people sometimes will take it as the wrong way. And I will say this, I used to be very egotistical. I used to, really care what other people's opinions were. But, through time and growing up, maybe, being humbled, I learned it's not important to me. I have a bigger mission, a bigger goal, and that is to truly help people. So yeah, I've removed all my ego, and what once would have been me trying to show off. This is just me truly talking you through my thought process, because I know it can help you. So I hope that you can understand that. And the people that were subscribers since 5 years ago, I hope that you can see my change as a person. Because I do believe I've grown as a person. So it would be nice if people think that too, I suppose, because I've made some efforts there. But anyway, nevertheless, to where we were, you can see here how we went through that level. And then this is where it's key. So it's all about the reaction. So we waited for the reaction of the swing failure pattern. We took the long trade. We were looking to take it up to the weekly. Okay, you can see there $98,331. Then look at this. Upon hitting the CC, I told my team, no short trades. We then get a pump through the weekly. So then the next level that we were looking at, that weekly level, for a big take profit or a short trade, never activates as we go straight through the level. So this is amazing. This is amazing to us as traders. We waited patiently for that weekly to be tapped, and then price just goes straight through it. There is no bearish reaction. There is no short trade to be had. That is very bullish. And what happens next is even better. So upon trading through this level, we then have an understanding, okay? For me, I'm still remaining bullish on Bitcoin. So this is while we're trading 99,000. I still believe we're going up a higher next. And look at this. We have finally hit that XRP target. We now trade above $3. I'm just going to have to take out my speakers a second. Okay, I've took them out because I just had some buzzing sound. But if there's any audio issues, let me know, as I just have unplugged some things from the computer. But I hope that it's all good still. But again, where was I? I do want to try. I thought 2-3 minutes talking you through this, and it's ended up taking, what, 20 minutes. I do promise we are going to move on to this price action of what's happening next. But sometimes I just get so focused on what I'm talking about. I thought it was going to be quick, but actually there's a lot to cover, to be honest. And yeah, so this was the brilliant thing. We then get that reaction straight through, and then what happened next is wonderful. We are then given a lower term time frame trade setup based off of what could be resistance breaking through, flipping to support. And this was a trade idea that we had. Again, this was on the 6th, so yesterday morning, we had this trade idea. So we'll come down onto a lower term time frame. I will even add this back onto the charts. So this green line, I hope you can see that clearly. You see this green line? Okay, that green line there is based off of this prediction. Really simply, resistance, 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 flipping into support, pump to the upside. So you can then see if you missed the lowest move, if you've if you miss this opportunity, then you have to remain patient for a drop, and you of course are going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. You never want to FOMO in at the highs. You do need to wait for the retracements, right? And in the end, 97,388 was a resistance, 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 support flip that happened. The entry trigger though, for me, would be reclaiming the channel. So rather than trying to long the low, I prefer to see the fake out, tap that, reclaim. So entry would be around 98,500, pretty much where it is here, because that shows us the fake out of the level with the reclaim. As I was telling my team yesterday, you did have that reclaim. Yeah, here, what a reaction this ended up being, right? So you had that fake out, reclaim, and from $99,000, you pump up all the way overnight to $102,000, and there's even things here that I want to show you through, because this really was wonderful. So you see, this was the parallel channel that we had on. If you can see here, parallel channel high, parallel channel low. Okay, then look at this: parallel channel high, parallel channel low, fake out, following that green line, fake out, we pump to the upside, right? Fake out, we pump to the upside. Then look at this. That parallel channel high, once again, resistance into support. Another opportunity if you're a lower term time frame trader. You see how simple Bitcoin's moving here? Resistance, support gave the opportunity for the long. Where did we pump to? The top of the channel, where once again, Bitcoin went from resistance into support. This is wonderful. You see, Bitcoin is making patterns. You know, if you have this level of understanding, if you have that pattern recognition, you can start to record statistics. You can start to understand how trading works. It's from pattern recognition, recognizing patterns, building statistics, understanding this is a good strategy. and you actually do it once again, look at this daily level, $102,255. Okay, I told my team again, please look at the timestamps before the latest pump to the upside that we are seeing. I say to my team at 12:30 UK time, I want to see Bitcoin rise next to that $104,000 zone. And I want to show you here what happened next. Look at the daily level. And again, I did not short this level. I've not shorted this rise because there has not been anything on this chart that has shown any weakness. But look at that daily. Once again, the flip of resistance, parallel channel resistance into support. And then look what happened at the daily here. Daily resistance flipped into support, supporting this massive rise to the upside. Up into the naked point of control, which we had 105, 200, which we can mark out, which is our current high. 105, 200. That is a NPAC. So you can see that's the current high that we are pulling back from, as seen here. And now we can start to look at what's happening next. If anyone has any questions, let me know in the chat. But I hope you appreciate the, or I hope more than appreciate, I just hope it was helpful, to be honest. I hope that was helpful, talking you through that, maybe letting you understand. You know, a lot of people would be like, how on earth has Bitcoin gone from 90,000 to 105,000? I can show you why that happened, and I can show you how before it even happened, we were predicting such moves from the very low, taking it up to the weekly, where we recognized there was no weakness for continuation to the upside. So from the very low, breaking key resistance, and then even on the lower term timeframes, getting the flips for continuation. So yeah, that's how you can predict it, it's how you can trade it, and it's how you can make some nice profits, right? So with that said, that brings us up to 105,200, which is a weekly naked point of control. And it is what we are currently rejecting from. So yeah, a significant level, weekly naked point of control. So we need to now think about what is our next actionable trade setups? So let's take a look at this as we get ready for our weekend price action, right? So what would I be looking at next then? So right then, so I would be looking at this, to be honest with you. That parallel channel I would remove. The weekly I would now remove. That I will remove. Uptrend anchored VWAP. I love this level. Uptrend volume profile. Fibonacci from low to high. I mean, look at this support that you have here, my friends. Daily point of control CC. Again, this is quite a retracement, and this is where you would say patience got to be required. And again, you have to understand this level might not hit, but I would say that that's a nice level. 3 levels of good confluence. Oh my God, you could have actually the most perfect confluence. If this takes some days to come here, you can see how this uptrend anchored VWAP is going to be there too. Wow. 100,000 psychological. We could have just found one of the highest confluence levels ever on Bitcoin. Of course, low term time frame, but that is something special. If this takes a few days, wow, you could have one of the best support levels I've seen in a long time right there. Very, very, very nice daily uptrend anchored VWAP point of control CC. Yeah, that's something special right there, my friends. Yeah, I don't think I need to do any more. That is something I can already see as a very, very, very nice level. See the overall range. Overall range point of control is below, but the range value area hide is there as well. Oh, come on. Chat, come on. Let's everyone put the W's. Let's transmit our energy onto this being a win. Uh, everybody get out the W's because we have just found one of the strongest levels I've ever seen on the Bitcoin chart. Overall range value area high on a local CC on a daily level on the uptrend point of control of what could be on the uptrend anchored VWAP. This is support on steroids. On $100,000 psychological level, I cannot believe how good of a level this is. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got the W's coming in. We are transmitting this energy. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is an extremely strong level of support. Extremely strong level of support. Very, very, very big. Love to see that. Well, there we go. I already know where my next long trade would be. And it would be here. It would be off of that level. That is very lovely. I think this is a wonderful level. Yeah, I mean, I could spend another hour looking at this and I don't think I'd find a level as nice as that. So that's just a wonderful level of confluence, everything that you could want. And it's even in a little bit of a resistance back into support, right? If you come down here, then you got this resistance back into support too. So I think this has just got everything that we want. Again, we don't necessarily think it comes straight down. It can come, blah, 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 take some time. But nevertheless, this is a wonderful level of support. Love this comment. New desktop background created. Yeah, if you guys want us ever a nice desktop background to remind you of what is wonderful confluence, there you go. This is it. I will even save this and post it to Twitter later so you can save this photo. New desktop backgrounds. You can have the zoomed out version or you can have the desktop background of the zoomed in version. There you go. 2 desktop backgrounds for you. Or you can take a print screen of this YouTube video and have my wonderful face on your desktop background too. How about that? So yeah, I think that's one lovely level of confluence. Should we see? Should we see? What should we see? I would say we don't have any harmonics lining up here. We might have a trend line as well, right? So trend line from the low to this low. Look, so this depends on the speed. So again, this is not going to be happening, but if we drop down suddenly, then we would have the trend line there as well. So it looks like that trend line is not going to help because that it's not going to drop down right now, right? So the trend line not helpful there. So that's not going to be a level of confluence. I would say the other perfect level of confluence that we could get is if price does something like this. So if price comes down here and hits that value area high and then gets the retracement, what you could line up as is a 1-to-1. Because what happens here at this value area high, again, this could be a very low term time frame scalp trade long. You would have the value area high on the anchored VWAP, right? So you could look for the long there, look to take it up and then back down. And what happens is if it doesn't come back down and it just goes up, you have the aggressive long. But what I would be looking for that second move to the downside, if it comes, is then the 1-to-1 as well. So if you line that up with the first impulse retracement, again, we do not have this retracement yet, but depending on where that retracement would come to, you look for the 1-to-1. And if you get the 1-to-1, A, B, C, for that retracement from an Elliott wave perspective, onto that as well, I think we just broke the charts of confluence. That would be the next best setup. We would then even have Elliott waves and Fibonacci, even more Fibonacci, coming into play. So yeah, if we get a retracement, that's where I've had my alerts. That's where I'll be waiting to long. And I guess on this value area high. Perfect. Well, I want to say maybe the most important part of the video right now. So again, please listen carefully. And on this, I would even recommend write some notes. If you haven't wrote any notes already, write this down in big letters. We have just found one of the best trade setups possible. We have found a trade setup with amazing confluence, wonderfully high probabilities. The statistics on this will be through the roof. This is an amazing confluence trade setup. But we are traders and we understand something important. A wonderful high probability trade setup does not equal 100% winning. I have seen this before. The most wonderful, perfect confluence. You think, wow, how is this so beautiful? This has to win. And then you can be taught, controlled by your greed. I'm going to go all in on this. This is so good, it cannot lose. But this is a game of trading. Even the best trade setups can lose, and the worst trade setups can win. So that is why I need to warn of the importance of risk management. Yes, this is a wonderful, I would even class it as a very high probability trade setup, but it can lose like that. That is why, as a trader, we always need to have the same risk management on a 30% win rate setup versus a 90% win rate setup, because a 30% win rate trade setup, well, it could be your winning trade, and on a 90% win rate setup, it could be the time it loses. So it's always a game of probabilities. Yes, we have probabilities, likely to win, likely to lose, but that doesn't guarantee anything. And that is why it is my responsibility to, the viewers of this video, to just always remind you of the realistic expectations. This trade setup excites me. It really does. It makes me think this is wonderful. This is a very good trade setup. But again, I repeat, I have seen this before. I have seen the very best confluence trade setups fail. And I've seen trade setups that I've thought to myself, oh, this is one of my lower probability strategies. And I've even thought, in my belly, oh, this is such a bad setup. Like, I don't really like it very much. You get the entry and you're thinking, oh, this is going to lose. It's only a matter of time till I get stopped out. And then it pumps and you get a massive win. Okay, and I've had trade setups where I've took the trade and I've thought, this is the best trade setup. I'm so happy to have this entry. Wow, this is going to be an epic setup. And then I wake up and I've been stopped out. And that is why I remember every trade I take, whether it is one of my better ones or whether it's one of my worst probability setups, I will always approach it with the same risk management, because I know at the end of the day, it can win or it can lose, whether it's a high or lower probability. That's not for the market to care. It does not care about our statistics from the past. The market is its own beast. And that is why it's very important to approach with good risk management these types of setups. Because at the end of the day, this very good trade can still lose. But nevertheless, that's where I'm going to be looking for my next entry. And I will use a lower term time frame entry trigger. So very much like this, I will wait for that move into the level, have the reaction, and then my invalidation will be below the price action. Okay, so that's the way I work out the invalidation of the stop loss. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've taught you through what I feel is an amazing trade setup. If we get that retracement, again, we got to remain patient. Might not take a day, might take a week. But I will remain patient for that. And if it doesn't come, well, again, we have longs from lower, so it's not the end of the world. But I will remain patient for compounding this long here, heavily long. But of course, maintaining risk management as always. If you do want these types of trade setups where I first of all gave the long at $90,000, even look through the setup that we saw yesterday occur off of the fake out of that weekly for the next move to the upside. You know, giving the insights as we're going along, explaining no short trades, looking for higher. No short trades, looking for higher. No short trades, looking for higher, you know, during the whole of the move to the upside. No short trades, looking for higher, right? And then from the original long, you know, you see all the posts. If you want this type of guidance inside of a Discord community, from, you know, waiting for the entry trigger to getting it, you know, I feel I do offer people, you know, that level of confidence, that level of, you know, ability to remain patient, because a lot of people struggle with their patience. But anyway, if you'd like those type of insights, or every day, you know, as well as live trading streams, daily morning trading streams, updates in the morning, live trading streams on around New York Open, the whole educational library. When this loads, then that's what you get, you know, inside of Chart Champions, right? So this is, you know, this is what we do every single day. This is what we offer. So if that's of interest to you, you can check out our website at chartchampions.com. Otherwise, yeah, we will still be here on YouTube, on Twitter, you know, providing help and encouragement too. So I said at the start of this video, I've been calling Bitcoin the world's greatest asset. So I will end expanding upon those thoughts. Where did I mention it? World's best assets. I mentioned it here as well, right? Okay, no, maybe I didn't. I thought I mentioned it in more places. But anyway, I've referred to Bitcoin as the world's best asset, and I had a few questions about it. What do I mean by it's the world's best asset? Is it the most bullish asset in the world? You could view it as that, but I think Bitcoin is the world's best asset because it is the most technically perfect trading asset in the world. I have traded so many different altcoins, so many different stocks, and I will always come back to Bitcoin. I don't need the hundreds of altcoins. I don't need the indexes or the stocks. All I need is Bitcoin when it comes to being a trader, because I can rely on it. I know that I can make my bread and butter. I know that I'm going to be given the setups. Yes, sometimes I need to remain patient for a few days, maybe a week, but it will come. And time after time after time and after time, Bitcoin does not let me down. Bitcoin is reliable. Bitcoin is so liquid. You know, you do not have a problem with liquidity. There is a lot of volume. The moves, as I've shown you today, are predictable. You might think this is magic, but it's not. It's just Bitcoin respects technical analysis like, I wanted to say like no other asset, but that would be incorrect. Of course, what we use here, we can trade commodities, we can trade Forex, we can trade the stocks, we can trade the indexes, we can trade the altcoins. You know, the other coaches do it, members do it. But for me personally, I don't enjoy the noise of this. I just like Bitcoin because it provides everything I need to make the profits. Yes, I could go and trade 100 more assets. I don't need that. All I need is Bitcoin. And that is why for me it is the world's greatest asset, because myself as a trader know that I can rely on Bitcoin to give me consistently these wonderful trade setups time and time again. So that is why for me, Bitcoin is the world's greatest asset. There we go. Am I trolling? No, I am not trolling. For me as a trader, it's the world's greatest asset, and I mean it. I love Bitcoin. You're never going to see me trade anything else because this is what I like and this is what I enjoy. So there we go. My friends, I'm going to start to wrap this up. I can ask for one thing, and that is if you can just give this video a like. Why do I ask for the like? Because that's what engages the algorithm. If you want to give a comment to the video, I believe in what we do here. I know that it helps people. I've seen it from the results of people that come in and learn. What we do truly helps. This is not a Moon Boy channel. This is not one of the millions of scam channels out there. You know, a lot of the channels, well, you can make your own decision. Let's just say that it's hard to find a good, helpful channel. And I know that what we do here at Chart Champions is good. It is helpful. And so the more people that we can reach, the more people that we can help. And I know that. I really do. So I believe in the cause. So I will ask if you can give a like, share the video to any friends or family, anyone interested in trading. If they want to find a trading community, a really helpful, friendly vibe community, we have that at Chart Champions. We'll be more than happy to accept you into it. And yeah, that's the like would help the algorithm hopefully push this out to more people so we can help more people. I want to end this video finally by just saying I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this has been very helpful. And for me now, this is a major part of my life. And I just want to say, I know some people will not like this, so it is what it is. It's my channel. And I want to say thank you to God for blessing me the way he has, giving me the knowledge and wisdom to understand these charts. That is a massive blessing. Of course, I have put in hard work and dedication to understand, but I thank God for everything, everything that I have is thankful to him. And I will even say this, like even my possessions, the money, etc. that is made is still his at the end of the day. God has everything, and he is wonderful, and he is generous, loving, and you know, if you don't, I'd have thought you love technical analysis if you made it this far. But hey, if I can plant a seed, if you're a non-believer, even if you don't want to pursue trading, remind yourself always God is great. And truly, I could speak for a long time over miracles that I've seen, and it's just wonderful and great. And I just wanted to end my video giving all my thanks to God, because that is something I'm very passionate about now. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to say I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much. Blessings to everybody. I hope that you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want one sooner, you know where to find me sooner, and that is, of course, over with the other coaches at chartchampions.com. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. That's me signing out. Cheers, thank you, and goodbye.